Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I want to talk about Xbox's Project Scorpio and PlayStation's Neo console. Now, if you're not aware, both Microsoft and Sony have been developing VR projects for their respective consoles for a long time. Now, this originally started in response to the Oculus Rift development, and this is relevant because Microsoft and Sony, they've been trying to compete with the PC more aggressively over the last decade, trying to match technological improvements the PC is making so that the console users can enjoy the same types of things that PC gamers are so fond of. But the fact they are trying to compete with the PC is actually important, and that's because considering the Project Scorpio and PlayStation Neo console are both 4K ready variants on the modern generation of console. Now, 4K is a huge resolution upgrade compared to standard 1080p or 1440p, so I can imagine the excitement people have looking forward to how this will change the gaming completely, and it makes sense that both companies are doing this to compete with the PC market. Now, neither of the new consoles is actually a completely different console, like a new generation. They're more expansion packs, if you would, of the console world. They've actually been labeled as the Xbox One S and the Ps4.5, and that's just to show you what I mean by that. Now, both consoles are going to be amazing. I'm sure nobody is questioning that part. The hype is actually unreal. However, as I'm sure may happen in the comments, people are very prideful over each console, its capability, what specs are behind it, so I'll delve into all that delicious information for you guys. So without further delay, let's just get into the meat of the video. The Xbox Scorpio is going to be a powerful beast with a sleek design. It's been slimmed down to almost half size. It comes pre-installed with a factory 2TB hard drive for all the DLC and game installations console users will want to have on there. The power supply is also built into the console itself, which means there's no power brick you have to place somewhere nearby. Now that's beautiful. It will come built in with HDR support for games that have such a feature enabled. The biggest change that everyone is interested in, however, is the 4K support and Blu-ray player built into the console. Now, what we do know about the specs at the moment is the Xbox Scorpio will come installed with 6 T-flops of power, which for reference is 5 times more than the Xbox One. It will also have a 320 gigabytes per second bandwidth, which is 4 times than the Xbox One. So you can probably imagine all the amazing power behind the Xbox Scorpio and probably fantasize about the games that developers are going to produce for it. Now, the Scorpio is going to be rivaling mid to high-end range PCs when it launches, which is why Microsoft seems to be taking this move. As I said earlier, both Microsoft and Sony seem to actually be taking an active and aggressive stance to matching the PCs over the last decade, and this is the next logical step in that plan. Now, one controversial topic involved in this is that Microsoft did actually get asked if the Project Scorpio would have exclusive titles separate from the Xbox One, and in response they did say that it would be fully backwards compatible with all Xbox One games, but they are leaving the decision of exclusivity to the developers themselves, so a developer can actually decide to have his title on the Xbox Scorpion only, where an Xbox One would not be able to play it. Now, for the last question everyone has at this point, which is, how much does it cost? Now, the cost of the Xbox Scorpio is actually estimated to be around the $600 range, but I'd say that's subject to change, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets a little bit more or a little less expensive before the full release. All of those kinds of things change depending on manufacturers and things that have happened, and even things such as large-scale disasters can cause prices to fluctuate. Now, getting on to the other topic, let's talk about the Neo. The Neo is being kept quite under wraps at the moment, unfortunately. Sony doesn't really want to release too many details, which is making it pretty hard to compare the consoles together. But what we have learned is that the PlayStation Neo will be capable of upscaling current games into 4K, which sounds absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm sure everyone's excited for that. The ability to upscale current games into 4K. Now, the Neo will feature a clock speed of 2.1 GHz, and while the PS4 has a clock speed of 1.6, the Neo will also feature an improved GPU, rumored to be about 36 compute powers running at a clock speed of 911 MHz per second. Now, I'm sure that's confusing everyone, but it's basically twice as powerful as the PS4. That's a lot of extra power. Now, the Neo will have the same amount of 8 GB GDDR5 memory. However, the clock speed itself is much higher at a respectable 218 GB per second, which is a 24% markup, literally a quarter or better. Now, Sony has confirmed that there will be no ability for developers to make exclusive titles for the Neo, and that is the key feature of the console, is the ability to scale the previous and future games up to 4K instead. So to conclude this, guys, I just want to say that this is quite interesting. It seems like Microsoft wants to completely release a hard competitor to the PC, and by the consequence their own Xbox One. Well, Sony actually seems a little bit different. It seems like they want to create a console that enhances the PS4 and augments it, but it just works with it rather than against it. Now let me know what you guys think about this anyway. Are you getting an Xbox Scorpion, a PlayStation Neo? Do you think Microsoft is wrong? Do you think that allowing the devs exclusive titles is actually a little bit immoral, and it's a really bad thing to do towards the community? If you have anything to say, just leave a comment down below, and if you did enjoy the video, it would really make my day if you left a like and a subscribe. Thanks for taking the time to get to the end of the video, and have a beautiful day.